Relive all the great times you've had together in the past. And if you're like me and don't live close, it can keep your mom up to date with a steady stream of new pics of the grandkids and life in general. The best part is you can even preload it with pictures. So the second she pulls the frame from the premium gift box, it's ready to go. It's a solid upgrade from the usual flowers. Named number 1 by Wirecutter, you can save on the gifts moms love by visiting auraframes.ca. For a limited time, listeners can get $25 off their best-selling Carver mat frame with code JUSTIN. That's auraframes.ca, promo code JUSTIN. Support the station by mentioning Justin from SN590 at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for being the designated driver. My turn's next week.
You're the best.
Hey, DD, can I buy you a pop?
All good, guys.
No matter how you thank your designated driver, it helps show your appreciation for their commitment to your safety. Having a DD is one of the easiest and most effective ways to prevent impaired driving. License suspensions, fines, and even jail time. All of this can be prevented by having a DD. Thank you from Arrive Alive, Drive Sober, The Beer Store, and Desjardins Insurance.
Food Network is now in free preview.
The destination for the best eats on TV.
With hot new shows featuring your favorite Food Network stars. From new episodes of Flavortown Food Fight with Guy Fieri and Beat Bobby Flay.
The best of the best world-class chefs.
Plus all new originals. Andy's East Coast Kitchen Crawl with Andy Hay.
Ooh, baby.
And Bake Master Battle Spring Edition with April Julian, Dwight Smith, and Dina Pugliese.
Enough talking, time to taste.
Food Network, nothing tastes better. Now in free preview for a limited time. Check your TV guide.
At Mucho Burrito, we cook. Other spots cut corners and bags. If the chicken's prepackaged, it doesn't go in. If the cheese has fine print, it doesn't melt here. Salsa from a tub, not ours. At Mucho, whole chicken breast hits the grill every day. Cheese is 100% real, full stop. Vegetables get roasted in casa. Listen, if your order with them starts with scissors, start asking questions. Mucho Burrito made with love, not shortcuts.
Love Mucho!
Hey, it's Blake Murphy.
And I'm Matt Bonner.
Join us weekday mornings at 11 as we break down all things Toronto Raptors.
It's the Raptor Show on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and wherever you get your podcasts.
CJCL Toronto. This
Slams the ball to right field. Way back. Way gone.
is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second. The throw. In time.
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Blue Jays look for revenge today as they return to Rogers Center for Game 2 of the series against the Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland, on the back of a 5-run first inning, took the opener, a nail-biter in the end, 8-6, the final. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. Joe Ali is our host today. Nick Blackmore, our producer, Andrew Adams, and Tom Young are our technical directors. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Bristol and Victoriaville, Quebec. Protect your vehicle with Canada's #1 rust protection. Find your local Crown Rust Control family at crown.com. The young left-hander from Hawaii, Joey Cantillo, will get the ball today for the Guardians, hoping his nasty changeup fools the Blue Jays. On the other side, a similarly devastating off-speed pitch. Kevin Gausman's splitter will go to work today for Toronto. We have lineup standings. First pitch on the other side. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca, on the Sportsnet app, and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From sheds and garages to tiny and dream homes, find quality materials, ready-to-order building plans, and expert advice to guide you every step of the way. Start your build today at timbermart.ca. Timbermart, Canada's building center.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? for a special spring offer. Find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Breaking news for your home. Wayfair's big sale is here. It's Way Day. Time to score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off with free shipping on everything. Shop Way Day now through April 27th at wayfair.ca.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialist.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has...
1-2, swing and a foul tip, strike 3. Got him on a fastball at the bottom of the zone. First K for Gausman as Carroll goes down. 2 outs. 1-2. Elevated fastball, foul tip, strike 3. Valenzuela with claps into his mid after that punch out. He came up out of his crouch to get Gausman to deliver it up, and it worked out for Gausman's second strikeout of the start. 2-2 pitch, wave and a miss, strike 3. Either way, 6 impressive innings from Kevin Gausman. There's his 4th strikeout of the start. He gives up a run in the 6th, but the Blue Jays are leading 10-2. That was the last start of Kevin Gausman. Came in the series finale against the Arizona Diamondbacks as the Blue Jays won that game, and they are looking for another win today as they take on the Cleveland Guardians here in Toronto for Game 2 of the series. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Yesterday, Chris, the Blue Jays had a lot of offense but did not get the starting pitching performance they needed to be in the game. Looking for more consistency today, they turn it over to the right guy. Kevin Gausman has given them a good chance every time this year.
Yeah, you said it. Consistency is the key for Kevin Gausman. 6 impressive innings in his last start, even with diminished stuff. There's been a lot of talk about the fastball early on in that start. 89 to 91 miles an hour. It looked like he was just on cruise control. The Blue Jays did score 8 runs in the first inning. So I was actually talking about during the broadcast, is he trying to conserve some energy so he can be fresh later on into the season? Only ended up throwing 86 pitches in that ball game. We did see some 94s and some 95s later on in the start, but he was really, really good. He commanded the fastball well. He commanded the split finger well, even mixed in some pretty good changeups. He is the guy that the Blue Jays want when they are down. They've lost 2 ball games in a row, and they get a very good pitcher in Joey Cantillo up against Kevin Gausman. But Kevin Gausman, I'm assuming, is going to come out with his regular fastball today and really try to dominate this Cleveland Guardians lineup.
Kevin Gausman taking on the Guardians today. Before we get to the lineups, let's take a look at the standings watch presented by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. One final already today as the Orioles fell by a lot to the Red Sox, 17-1 the final. So the Yankees lead the division 17-9. The Rays 14-11, 2.5 back. The Orioles 13-14, 4.5 back. Blue Jays are 10-15, 6.5 back, and the Red Sox 10-17 even with the win, 7.5 behind. For the Cleveland Guardians today, managed by Stephen Vogt, Angel Martinez leads off, plays center field. The DH Chase DeLauder bats second. At third base, hitting third, Jose Ramirez. Cleaning up the first baseman, Rhys Hoskins. Batting fifth in left field is George Valera. In right field, hitting sixth, David Fry. Juan Brito gets the start at second. He'll hit seventh. Canadian catcher Bo Naylor batting eighth with shortstop Brian Rocchio hitting ninth. Lefty Joey Cantillo on the hill. And for the Blue Jays, right fielder Miles Straw leads off. Ernie Clement, the second baseman, hits second. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. bats third, playing first. Cosmo Okamoto cleaning up, hitting third. The DH hitting fifth. Eloy Jimenez with Dalton Varsho batting sixth, playing center. Davis Schneider hitting seventh, playing left. Andres Jimenez, the shortstop, will hit eighth. And Tyler Heineman, the catcher, will bat 9th. Kevin Gausman on the hill right now, warming up for the Blue Jays. The 6'2", 35-year-old right-hander from Colorado has a 2.54 ERA in 5 starts across 28 1/3 innings this year. We heard some highlights of his Arizona start. He went 6 innings, did scatter 7 hits in that start, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. And Chris, you'd already mentioned only 86 pitches for Kevin Gausman in that outing. So he should be, especially with an off day as well in between, pretty fresh coming into this start against the Guardians. He'll face Angel Martinez to begin the game, who was very dangerous yesterday for Cleveland.
I think the most important thing to look at when talking about his stats this season, he's only walked 6 guys in almost 30 innings, really filling up that strike zone well.
Gausman with the royal blue jersey on and white panel cap brings his hands together looking in at Martinez. The kick and the pitch home is taken for a ball, 1-0. We begin this game at 3:08 Eastern with the roof closed. It's chilly and misting in Toronto right now. So still a lid on Rogers Center here in late April. 1-0 pitch to Martinez. Called a strike. The switch hitter batting left bent the knee and took a fastball in there to even the count at 1-1. Already we see Gausman there with a 92.5-mile-an-hour fastball and a 93 earlier. That's ticked up from his first inning of his last start. 1-1 is hit sharply on the ground to first. A bouncer picked up forehand side by Guerrero. He'll go to the bag, and in 3 pitches, Gausman has his first out of the day. So the Blue Jays in the royal blue jerseys, white pants, white panel caps with the retro logo. Guardians back in their road grays, Cleveland across the front. Rookie designated hitter Chase DeLauder is up, batting from the left side against Kevin Gausman. The pitch. He went around on an elevated fastball. A point from the home plate umpire Quinn Walcott, 0-1. Ramon de Jesus umps first, crew chief Adrian Johnson at second, and Paul Clemens at third. 1 out and the base is empty. Shift toward the first base side, 0-1. Called a strike, fastball in there, 94, and it's 0-2.
That's a good sign. He's also filling up the strike zone. He's throwing high-velocity fastballs. I don't think we saw a 94 until about the 3rd or 4th inning in his last start.
He was even 89, 90 at times. It's 0-2. Just outside with a splitter. DeLauder started to move his hands, but decided not to swing as that ran away from him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gausman kicks. The 1-2 is hooked out toward right field. Charging forward, Miles Straw will make an underhanded catch. A lot of range out there in right field with Straw getting the start today. Gausman points his hand out to Straw in recognition of a nice play, and there are 2 down.
I feel like a lot of right fielders would probably make that play, but Miles Straw made it look very, very easy.
I think many of them might have to leave their feet, where Miles Straw does not because of his speed and quick first step. So 2 outs in this first inning. The base is empty, and Gausman faces his biggest test so far in the future Hall of Famer Jose Ramirez. The pitch. Called strike. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Switch hitting Ramirez, bats left. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Huge hack there by Ramirez on a splitter that fell away from him, 0-2. Fans still filing into their seats, but getting loud for Gausman. 2 outs, base is empty. The 0-2 is sliced on a bounce to third, picked up by the shifted Okamoto, who throws over to first and gets Ramirez by a half step to end the inning. Pair of ground outs and a line out in between in a 1-2-3 top of the first for Kevin Gausman. Straw, Clement, Guerrero batting when we come back. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Food Network is now in free preview.
The destination for the best eats on TV.
With hot new shows featuring your favorite Food Network stars. From new episodes of Flavortown Food Fight with Guy Fieri and Beat Bobby Flay.
The best of the best world-class chefs.
Plus all new originals. Andy's East Coast Kitchen Crawl with Andy Hay.
Ooh, baby.
And Bake Master Battle Spring Edition with April Julian, Dwight Smith, and Dina Pugliese.
Enough talking, time to taste.
Food Network, nothing tastes better. Now in free preview for a limited time. Check your TV guide.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
There's nothing worse than waiting in long lines around the ballpark. That's why Bet365 has 5-run early payout. When the team you're riding goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there, win or lose. No waiting required. Now you can go back for another hot dog. Bet365. Download the app and see what early payouts all about. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, this is David Schneider. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. You don't win games without fundamentals, and you don't build without quality materials. Your local Timbermart has all the tools, supplies, and expertise you need to step up to the plate and score big on every project. Timbermart, Canada's building center. No score, bottom of the first, Guardians and Blue Jays. Miles Straw will lead off, and the pitch from Joey Cantillo, the lefty, misses high and outside, ball 1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host. Nick Blackmore, our producer. Andrew Adams and Tom Young are our technical directors. Hawaiian southpaw Joey Cantillo deals home, misses high again, 2-0. Cantillo this year in 5 starts, a 3.20 ERA in 25 1/3 innings pitched. The 26-year-old coming off a bit of a rocky start against the Orioles. His 2-0. Called strike with a fastball at 91. His last start came on the 19th, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. He threw under 50% strikes. His 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike, and Miles Straw might be waiting him out a little bit here in this first at-bat for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, pretty comfortable at-bat so far. Cantillo has below-average stuff, so he needs to be in the strike zone to have success.
3-1. Straw lifts the ball, slicing toward the right field line. David Fry ranging over, makes a 2-handed catch, and there's 1 out. For Cantillo, he'll lead with a 4-seamer that sat around 92 miles an hour this year. The real devastating pitch is the changeup. Throws that about 20% of the time. Then he'll mix in 2 breaking balls, a slider and a curve. With a lot of right-handed hitters in the Blue Jay lineup today, we'll likely see a lot of that changeup. Cantillo can get ahead. 1 out, base is empty. Ernie Clement to the plate. The pitch. Called strike with a fastball at 91.
Yeah, I bet that changeup's the percentage used at least spikes today. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of righties in this lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Kick in the 0-1. Clement lashes the ball fair down the left field line. It's bouncing into the corner. Ernie around first. He'll dig for second. It's already his 12th double of this season, and he sets up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. well with 1 out.
Well, he just keeps doing it. That's not where you want that changeup, especially to a guy like Ernie Clement. That was elevated, a little bit of a floater at the top of the strike zone, and Ernie Clement just ripped that thing right down the third base line.
We'll see if the Blue Jays can get a chunk of that changeup today. They lead Major League Baseball in slugging percentage on off-speed pitches, which is changeups and splitters. Pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a breaking ball, spun in for strike 1. That was the curve at 78. No score in the game, bottom of the first. Clement on second and 1 out. Guerrero, a .323 hitter, faces an 0-1, swings and misses at another elevated change, and it's 0-2.
That changeup's about 12 miles an hour less than his fastball, so a pretty decent difference, and you can see the swing from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He was way out in front of it.
0-2 count. Clement on second. Cantillo checks Clement. One more peek. And the 0-2. Fastball upstairs at 94. Reached back for a little extra but missed. 1-2. Guerrero's driven in 13 runs on the year. second to only Andres Jimenez on the team. 1-2. Fastball just low. Tough take there. Another 94-mile-an-hour heater. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And because that changeup is so good, I bet that 94 seems like about 95, maybe even 96 miles an hour.
The 2-2. Tapped in front of the plate. It'll roll foul third base side. Still 2-2. So you have the changeup making the fastball seem a little bit quicker. And then also Joey Cantillo gets a ton of extension down the mound. He gets over 7 feet of extension with his long 6'4" frame. It's 95th percentile in baseball, so that's going to make the fastball seem a little bit harder too. Left-hander sets at his chest, rocks and deals. And the 2-2 is shot on the ground up the middle. Sliding stop at short. Rocchio spins and throws to first. Nice play to get the out on a 111-mile-an-hour ground ball. And there are 2 down, still Clement on third.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ernie Clement had to go back to second base because Brian Rocchio was so close to the second base bag when he fielded that ground ball, and it was hit very, very hard. Pretty good base running from him. But unfortunately, nice play up the middle from Rocchio.
So the Blue Jays will try and drive in Clement with 2 outs. It's Kazuma Okamoto up. Cantillo's pitch. Called strike. Really nice night for Okamoto last night. Reached 3 of his 4 times. A home run, a walk, and a single. Scored twice, drove in 1. 0-1. Outside, no. Called a strike on a changeup there. No balls and 2 strikes as that pitch just picked the outside edge. Clement taking his lead. Cantillo trying to strand the 1-out double. Now with 2 down, his 0-2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Okamoto adjusts his helmet, swings the bat below his knees, now brings it up and holds it off of his chest. 1-2. Foul tip, strike 3 as he goes down on an elevated change to end the inning. Blue Jays get a 1-out double from Clement, but leave him on, and there's no score headed to the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. BetterHelp Online Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/letsbegin for 10% off.
Work. Welcome back to downtown Toronto. It's the second inning, and it's brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. No score between the Blue Jays and Guardians. Kevin Gausman looks in at Rhys Hoskins, and the pitch. Hit on the ground, left side. Okamoto dives to pick it up from his knees, throws across to first, in time on a bounce for the out. Web gem at third, Kazuma Okamoto. 1 out as he takes a hit away from Rhys Hoskins.
Kazuma Okamoto is becoming more comfortable with the bat, and it seems like he's becoming more comfortable over there at third base. He struggled early on going to his left, and he made a great play there throwing from his knees to get Hoskins at first base.
Gave Vlad a nice long hop there on the bounce throw from his right knee. One down, George Valera up in the pitch, called a strike. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. Kevin Gausman threw 10 pitches in a scoreless top of the first. Now he'll deal right on left to Valera. Off the end of the bat, it awkwardly rolls foul third base side. Stopped by the foot of third base coach Rouglas Odor. He's joined by Sandy Alomar Jr. coaching first for Cleveland. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out and the base is empty. Valera extends his left hand back to the home plate ump Quinn Walcott to ask for time and steps back out of the box. Gives Gausman a sec to stretch his arms above his head, tug on the brim of his cap, stretch his right arm behind him, and bring his hands together. Bounces his lead left foot. And now the 0-2 pitch. High, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Valera in his shortened start to the season, 7 for 30 with 3 doubles. 1-2. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Valera laid off a splitter. Valera, a 25-year-old from Queens, New York, although grew up partially in the Dominican Republic as well. His 2-2. Called strike 3. Valera frozen by a Gausman fastball. First strikeout for Gausman, although we have our first ABS challenge brought to you by xcopper.com. Valera disagrees with the call, and he is wrong. The call was right. It will be a looking strikeout for Gausman. His first K of the start, 2 outs.
Really good sequence there. A couple of split fingers before that fastball, and then he just dots that good hard four-seamer at about 93 miles an hour at the bottom of the strike zone. Good frame job from Tyler Heineman as well.
2 down and the base is empty as David Fry comes up to the plate. Gausman's pitch. Called a strike, flipped in a slider to Fry to get ahead 0-1. Fry's somewhat of a super utility, batting .241 this year with 1 double, no runs driven in, .647 OPS. He'll wave and miss at a splitter, and Gausman with some junk has gotten ahead of him 0-2. No score, nobody on, 2 outs top of the second. Gausman's 2-strike pitch to Fry. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes, went back to the splitter. Gausman, top 3 in the majors in chase and whiff rate this year. He deals a 1-2. And it's hit off the fist, a lazy fly ball to right. Strong comes in, shuffles left, makes a one-handed squeeze, and ends the inning. Another 1-2-3 for Gausman with a punch-out. Still scoreless in this game, middle of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hammering out the details on your next build? At Home Hardware, we've got Milwaukee's entire M12 and M18 lineup. With all the drills, packouts to stay organized, and everything you need to work on your dream project. But the time off work. Find everything you need for your next project and earn and redeem Scene Plus points at over 1,000 Home Hardware and Building Center locations. All locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
The road to October is underway, and you can celebrate strikeouts, wins, or walk-offs, and everything in between this season with a Miller Lite. When the moment calls for it, why not gather around your home base with a great-tasting Pilsner? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 ml can serving. Miller Lite, official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada. It's Miller time. Must be legal drinking age. Celebrate responsibly.
XXL. Yeah, we doing it big. Yeah, we doing it XXL.
Yeah, we doing it big, yeah, we doing it whoa. I make a play when I step on the plate. Hit a home run, you gon' see it in space. We getting cheese like a pizza. We from the north, that's pride, that's ether. We getting bigger and tall. We step in your house and deliver it far. We big as the sea and we big as the falls. We big as the moment when we win it all.
Get a double XL huge 3-topping pizza for $19.99. Only at Pizza Pizza.
Hi, this is Jeff Hoffman, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. When it's time to build, renovate, or upgrade, your local Timber Mart has the materials, the know-how, and the team to help you win every time. From the first swing to the final finish, build with confidence at Timber Mart, Canada's building center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Scoreless game, Blue Jays and Guardians. Bottom of the second, Eloy Jimenez leads off. Here's Joey Cantillo's pitch. High and outside, ball one as the curveball slips out of his hand. Eloy Jimenez, wide open stance from the right side for the enormous 6'4" designated hitter. 1-0. Called a strike at the knees, a fastball to make it 1-1. Still searching for his first extra base hit of the year, but in 23 at-bats, Jimenez has 9 hits for a .391 average. 1-1. And he hits it off the end of the bat, just past the extended glove of the pitcher, Cantillo, charging from second, burrito gloves, and throws out Jimenez for the first out of the bottom of the second.
Rhys Hoskins actually had a tough time catching that ball at first base. Had to actually look in his glove for a split second to see if that ball was in there. That was interesting.
It's like when Ryan Howard used to do the two-hand squeeze over the first. I feel like that.
Well, it's not cool to do that.
It did not inspire confidence, I'll be honest. 1 out, base is empty. Dalton Varsho to hit. Corners are pinching in. The pitch. Called strike. A left-on-left matchup, but Varsho's been pretty good in the limited time he's had those situations this season. 0-1. Hit on the ground to the right side. Backhanded off a bounce by Hoskins. He'll go to the bag, retire Varsho. And there are 2 down. Going into that, Varsho was 6 for 20 against left-handed pitching. He's likely to see Cantillo again. Davis Schneider in specifically to hit left-handed pitching. He plays left field today with Jesus Sanchez getting a rest, and he'll come up with 2 outs and nobody on. Cantillo's allowed the 1-base hit, a Clement double in the first, retired 4 in a row since. His pitch to Schneider, called a strike. Cantillo was a 16th rounder out of high school in Hawaii. One of 49 Hawaiians to appear in Major League Baseball. 0-1 pitch. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Do you think he enjoys March in Cleveland?
Probably not. Probably not. Cantillo is one of 3 Hawaiians to feature in Major League Baseball this season, and we'll see another one of them in the upcoming series. Be Isaiah Kiner-Falefa of the Boston Red Sox. 1-1. In the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. And also Rico Garcia, the pitcher, has appeared, a Hawaii native as well. Two-one count, Cantillo against Schneider, the pitch. High, 3 balls and 1 strike. It's originally a Padres pick. Gigantic trade, a couple of big trades, Cleveland and San Diego. The deal that sent Mike Clevenger over to San Diego brought Cantillo, among others, back to Cleveland. 3-1. High, ball 4. After starting Davis off with a strike, Cantillo missed up and down in the next 4 pitches, and Davis Schneider takes a walk.
And that last pitch was actually a changeup well above the strike zone. That shows you just how comfortable he is with that pitch. If you can throw it 3-1, that means that you have a good feel for that pitch. So if you're the Blue Jays, you're expecting it in any count.
He will throw it left on left, too. Here's Andres Jimenez, the left-handed hitter, in the pitch. Called a strike. He's not throwing it as much. He throws it about 25% of the time to righties and about 10% to lefties. But it's not nothing. You will see some same-sided changeups. Schneider takes his lead, held on by Hoskins. 2 outs, bottom of the second, and the 0-1. Jimenez bounces one right side. Sliding stop there by Juan Brito at second. Throws off the knee from the turf to end the inning. 2-out walk for the Blue Jays, nothing more. 0-0 after 2. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Digging into some landscaping? At Home Hardware, we've got a wide range of soil and mulch, fertilizers and composting, gardening tools, and everything you need to make your yard beautiful. But the allergy control. Find everything you need for your next project and earn and redeem Scene Plus points at over 1,000 Home Hardware and Building Center locations. All locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
There are home runs, and there are legendary home runs. Where were you when Joe touched them all? When Jose backflipped into history? For Edwin's wild walk-off. Where were you when Vladdy hit Toronto's first postseason grand slam? Or when the Springer Dinger rocked Rogers Center? On Monday, May 11th, celebrate these memorable home runs and get a legendary home run t-shirt giveaway. Presented by Ryobi. Where will you be?
There's nothing worse than waiting in long lines around the ballpark. That's why Bet365 has 5-run early payout. When the team you're riding goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there, win or lose. No waiting required. Now you can go back for another hot dog. Bet365. Download the app and see what early payouts all about. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Double play! And the Blue Jays escape the bases loaded jam.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Bristol and Victoriaville, Quebec. Protect your vehicle with Canada's #1 rust protection. Find your local Crown Rust Control family at crown.com. No score, top of the third. Kevin Gausman to Juan Brito. Called strike at the knees. Four-seamer, 92 miles an hour. It snowballs in a strike. 7-8-9 for the Guardians this inning because Gausman has retired all 6 batters he's faced thus far. 35-year-old righty kicks and offers. Swing and a miss. Splitter in the zone, but just got Brito way out in front. He's picking on a first-year player. It's 0-2.
A lot of movement on that split finger, too. If they're going to throw another one, I'm sure it's going to be below the strike zone here.
Tiedemann sets the target high, and the 0-2 is low. It was a deep target on a splitter that misses down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Juan Brito in his first season, 24 years old, probably has not seen a lot of pitches like Kevin Gausman's splitter in his life. 1-2. Fastball fought off. They jammed him as they drove it in on the hands, and he fouls it behind him to keep himself up there, does Brito.
Now that you've thrown a fastball up and in, I'm sure Juan Brito is thinking they're coming back with the split finger here. That's when you double up with that fastball up.
1-2 again. They did go to the splitter, and Brito laid off of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Or you just go back to that. That'll get a swing and a miss, too, sometimes.
Although, to your point, he took it pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Gausman's 2-2. Outside and high with a fastball. Lost control of that one. Full count.
I would say especially to a young guy who's more accustomed to hard in, soft away, hard in, soft away. You don't really see the doubling up of the fastball in the minor leagues.
3-2 is lifted out to left center field with authority. Racing back Davis Schneider. It's over his head and bouncing toward the fence. Brito quickly around first into second base. He's the first Guardians base runner of the day as the 24-year-old has his 4th double of the season.
Pretty good pitch, pretty good swing. Brito goes the other way. That fastball was actually down and away right at the bottom of that strike zone at about 94 miles an hour. He goes down and golfs it the other way just over that outstretched glove of Davis Schneider.
A guy they're pretty high on in Juan Brito. They picked up a couple of years back in a trade from Colorado. He's on second. Nobody out, no score, top of the third. And Mississauga, Ontario's Bo Naylor up. The pitch is hit awkwardly. A spinning roller to short. Picked up by Jimenez. He'll throw out his former teammate Bo Naylor. But off to third base goes Brito. There's 1 out. That ball was hit off the end of the bat, it looked like. And it actually was hit kind of in the danger zone for Brito to advance, except it was hit really soft. So Brito got aggressive and took off right away.
Oh, really smart play from Andres Jimenez. Didn't crow hop at all. He knew that Bo Naylor has a little bit of speed running to first base. So he just fielded that ground ball and immediately threw to first base.
Runner on third, one out, infield in. The pitch to Brian Rocchio is tapped off the end of the bat, foul, 0-1. Kevin Gausman now hunting a strikeout here, or perhaps a pop-up. The outfielders will play a little bit shallow. Rocchio does not possess a ton of power typically, although he's already got 3 home runs this year. 0-1. Down and away. Leadoff double, then a ground out has Cleveland set up here as they try to take the lead. No runs yet in this ball game. Switch hitter batting left in Rocchio, faces a 1-1 and taps it softly to short. Charging Jimenez, gloves, got stuck in his hand. He pivots, throws to first for the out. Run comes in to score. Juan Brito crosses home. RBI ground out Rocchio. It's 1-0 Cleveland.
I'm not overly confident that Andres Jimenez gets Brito at home plate if he fields that ball cleanly. So it might be better for the Blue Jays, for Kevin Gausman, that he bobbled it and had to get the out at first base. We're seeing a replay here. I don't know if they get him at home plate, but they get that out at first base and they have 2 outs in the inning.
1-0 Cleveland, top of the order. Angel Martinez hits the first pitch, foul, 0-1. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, 100% Canadian-owned and operated since 1992. Every Tuesday night, wings are just half price. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. Red Sox destroyed the Orioles today, 17-1. 0-1 pitch, foul back, 0-2. It wasn't a great day for starter Trevor Rogers, but he only gave up 3 of the runs in an inning and 2/3. Keegan Aiken ended up allowing 6 runs in the game before position player Weston Wilson gave up 4 more. But it was 13-1 before the position player came in. 0-2 pitch. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That reminds me of a Streetsville Tigers, Thornhill Reds type of score.
Fortunately for us, we never played the folks in Streetsville. 1-2 pitch. Just below the zone there. Gausman almost had a looking strikeout with a 95-mile-an-hour heater. Instead, it's 2-2. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 1-0 Cleveland, a run here in this top of the third. And with the bases empty, the 2-2. Lined up the middle and sinking quickly down in center, a base hit. Angel Martinez continuing to impress in this series after 2 home runs yesterday. He has his first hit today.
Yeah, 2 for 4, a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs in yesterday's ball game. And he actually goes down and gets a tough split finger below the strike zone. Actually hit it pretty well up the middle. He was out in front a little bit, golfed it on a line.
Pitch landed kind of where they wanted it to, and he still hit it 100 miles an hour back up the middle. Martinez, who's playing center and leading off today, takes his lead off first. Chase DeLauder. Gausman's pitch. Outside, ball 1. DeLauder lined out to right field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. 16th overall pick by the Guardians in 2022 out of James Madison. 1-0. There goes the runner. Pitches low, a ball. Throw to second is a little bit late. Martinez nearly overslid the bag, so Jimenez applies a tag, but he is safe. And that's his 5th stolen base of the year, plus a 2-0 count.
That bag was stolen on Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman didn't really hold the ball all that well. And Angel Martinez got a fantastic jump. Even if that's a perfect throw, they don't get Martinez at second base.
Gausman, especially with his toe tap and then stop, typically is not your quickest or least predictable pitcher to home plate. He's staring at Martinez. Now is 2-0. Called a strike. 2-1. DeLauder swinging the bat below his knees. Brings his black bat up to his left shoulder. 2-1 pitch. Called strike. DeLauder had spun out of the way of the heater, and he immediately taps his helmet. Guardians have already lost a challenge today. This ABS challenge is brought to you by xcopper.com. And that was a good one from DeLauder. Instead of 2-2, it'll be 3-1 as that pitch was inside by 0.8 of an inch.
Still a great pitch, though.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to lose DeLauder here. He's got a lot of pedigree, but it's Jose Ramirez behind him. 3-1. Called strike at the knees. DeLauder kind of looked like he was backing out as the pitch came in. It's full count.
I think Kevin Gausman knew that as well. He could see Jose Ramirez in the on-deck circle. He just challenged DeLauder right there with a good hard four-seam fastball at the bottom of that strike zone.
Full count, 2 outs, runner on second. The 3-2 is chopped to second base. Charging forward Clement. Backhands and throws underhanded to first in time for the out to end the inning. Guardians do get a run on a pair of hits. Juan Brito comes in to score after a leadoff double, and it's 1-0 Cleveland, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/Let'sBegin for 10% off.
Blue Jay half of the third inning. They'll look to respond as the Guardians score a run in the top of the third to take a 1-0 lead. Welcome back to downtown Toronto. Up above the diamond at Rogers Center, I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Joey Cantillo, the lefty for Cleveland, offers home to Tyler Heineman. First pitch high, ball one. It'll be Heineman followed by Miles Straw and Ernie Clement. 9-1-2 in the Blue Jays order today. Cantillo deals. Heineman takes a called strike.
Heineman didn't like that call. Kind of took a breather and thought about tapping that helmet, and he was right. That ball was below the strike zone.
But he's got the power to make a change there if he wants.
I know. But sometimes you don't want to use that challenge in a 1-0 count.
1-1 pitch. High and outside, 2-1. Heineman batting an even 200 on the year, 443 OPS. No extra base hits, 2 RBIs. First baseman Hoskins playing in. 2-1. Check swing. Pitch high. There's a little twitch there from the home plate umpire, Quinn Walcott, but he decided not to call it a strike. And Bo Naylor has challenged. Right now it's 3-1, but this ABS challenge is brought to you by xcopper.com, and that did hit the top of the zone. So that'll be a good challenge from Naylor. And now the count is turned around. It's 2-2.
Quinn Walcott was actually right to flinch.
Guardians' second successful challenge today, although they've also missed one. They only have one ABS review remaining. 2-2. Heineman skips one up the middle. Rocchio on the run. Gloves. Throws to first. It's high. Heineman dives in head first. Hoskins had to leap off the bag, and he's safe. It's a very late signal there from Ramon DeJesus. Why he only made the safe signal after Hoskins came down and tagged Heineman, I'm not 100% sure. But Heineman slid over the base. Did not obviously make a turn towards second because he was on his stomach. And the Guardians are not going to challenge. That would have been another fantastic play by Rocchio. Hard to fault him for throwing it a little bit high there when he was sprinting and spinning on the play.
Well, because Ramon DeJesus, the first base umpire, took his time signaling that Heineman was safe at first base, Heineman actually slid past the bag and then tried to get that left leg back on the base because he looked up at Ramon DeJesus and he didn't make a call yet.
Heineman leading off first. Miles Straw up, and the pitch is low, ball one. Straw hitting at the top of the order for the first time in a Blue Jays uniform, but not unfamiliar to him. This is his 127th leadoff start of his career. Next pitch called a strike. He actually did it a fair bit in 2022 and 2021, but has not done it since the 2022 season. He's up there in part because even after his flyout in the first, he's batting .303 this year. 1-1. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the negative reason, Nathan Lucas was placed on the injured list today by the Toronto Blue Jays as that list continues to get crowded. Lucas with a left hamstring strain is on the injured list. Yohendrick Pinango called up. 2-1 to Straw is bounced left side, fielded deep. Rocchio throws to second, one sling to first way late. Fielder's choice. Straw will replace Heineman at first, and there's one out. Blue Jays down 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Make sure to stick around for the fourth inning. Sportsnet's Ben Nicholson-Smith is going to come on with us and talk about one of the more interesting or unique stories, I should say, that he's dove into so far in the early season. One out, Ernie Clement to the plate, and the pitch. Downstairs, ball one. Prior to Heineman's infield hit to begin this inning, Clement had the only hit for the Blue Jays thus far, a double in the first inning. The 1-0. Down and in, 2-0. It was Clement's 12th double. We're still in April. Even entering today, he was already one of 6 Blue Jays ever to have 11 doubles before May 1st, let alone 12. 2-0 pitch. Straw takes off first move. Pitch called to strike. No throw from Naylor. Straw went first move and got a great jump. That's why Clement took the pitch all the way for Miles Straw, his first stolen base of the year.
I mean, that's just smart baseball if you're Ernie Clement. Obviously, we know that he's a very cerebral guy, but he sees Miles Straw get a great jump from first base, and he's taking that pitch all the way, even though it was a very hittable fastball.
It's a four-seamer right down Broadway. Here's the 2-1. Clement reaches out and skies one foul right side over the first base dugout and into the first row of seats where a couple fans get onto the concrete to tussle for it. Fan in a Cosmo Okamoto jersey comes up with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Do we know how many of those 12 doubles by Ernie Clement have been hit into the left field corner?
I would guess 7 of them, at least, maybe more. Next pitch, waved and missed, strike 3. Clement goes down. There are 2 outs, still Straw on second. I can actually get that for you fairly easily. Every Clement double has been hit at a minimum to left center, and that's really one of them. The rest of them have been hit to straightaway left or hug in the line. 2 down, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to the plate. Second time he'll bat with a runner in scoring position today. The pitch is hit high in the air out to center field. Going back on Angel Martinez, curls in front of the track, makes the grab, and that does it for the inning. The Blue Jays get a runner on second with 1 out, but do not cash him in and still trail 1-0 headed to the fourth. Ben Nicholson-Smith joins us next. Stick with us. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, Want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/letsbegin for 10% off. That's BetterWork.
The fourth inning is brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app for the latest odds. 19+, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1-0 Cleveland Guardians. Top of the fourth, Kevin Gausman working against Jose Ramirez. He'll deal home. And the first pitch is crushed down the right field line, hooking toward foul territory and out of play, 0-1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, and we are joined in the booth by Sportsnet's Ben Nicholson-Smith, writer, podcaster, part of our broadcast team this year as well. I couldn't really pin down one role for you as Gausman's next pitch is in there, called strike.
Well, it's great to be here in this booth with you guys, so thanks for inviting me in for a bit.
We have you here specifically, I mean, we love having you here anyway, but to talk about a story you recently put out on Sportsnet.ca about prospect Austin Smith, 0-2, hit foul, still no balls, 2 strikes. And the gist is the Blue Jays now have a two-way player in their system. Smith both pitching and hitting a la Shohei Ohtani, or for the sickos out there, Michael Lorenzen as well. 0-2 again. And Ramirez smacks this one down the right field line. It's hooking toward foul territory, and that ball is foul, just barely. How did you come onto this story? What was the origin of finding this?
Well, got word that there was a young player in the Blue Jays system who was trying both. And then as soon as you hear that, I just wanted to know more, because it is pretty rare. And like everyone else, I mean, there are amateur players out there who see Shohei Ohtani and are really inspired by it. And they think, hey, I'm pretty good at this. Maybe it could be me. So Austin Smith is one of those players, and he's now trying to do that at Class A with the Blue Jays farm system.
23-year-old two-way player for Dunedin. 0-2 again, high and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So it's a really interesting challenge, of course, because it's hard enough to do one. He is now trying to do both, so he's pitching on Thursdays, and most of the time he's a position player, an outfielder for that team.
1-2 pitch. Fouled right back, still a ball and 2 strikes. The Blue Jays selected Smith in the 10th round last year. Do you know whether they had thought about this going into it, whether they were going to two-way him or not, because he did not pitch last year?
That's right, and he did pitch in college. He was a pretty good college pitcher, a very good college outfielder.
1-2 pitch is lifted on a line left center field, headed toward the gap, and down for a base hit, bouncing into the fence. Jose Ramirez tearing around first into second, loses his helmet as he gets there with a stand-up double.
And he did want to explore the possibility of being a two-way player, if at all possible. So the Blue Jays, as they're scouting Austin Smith, they had these conversations with him, as they do with lots of different players, and they said to him, hey, we actually see this possibility here. So this was in coordination with Joe Sclafani, who's their director of player development. As they're drafting Austin Smith, they say, all right, we're willing to do this with you. He was super excited. Talking to Austin about it, he is extremely excited about what this might lead to for him, and the Jays want to see how it can unfold.
Runner on second, no outs. Rhys Hoskins up, 1-0 Cleveland in the fourth, and the pitch is low, ball 1. We are certainly excited to see how it turns out as well. One thing I'm interested in, I don't know if this came up in your conversation, I mean, playing the outfield and pitching. That's not exactly what Shohei Ohtani does. 1-0 pitch, called to strike 1-1. Ohtani never plays the field. In part, you would imagine, to save his arm from any extra work. Smith is using his arm in the outfield.
Exactly. And there are a few differences. I mean, of course, there's so much distance between Shohei Ohtani.
1-1 pitch, wave and a miss, 1-2.
Between Shohei Ohtani and anybody else. And that's clear. And I think everyone understands that. This is by no means a lock and load proposition. It's going to be an uphill battle for Austin Smith even to make the major leagues, let alone to do it as a two-way, let alone to succeed against all those odds.
Hoskins now asks for time and backs out.
But he is a reliever, unlike Ohtani, of course, is a starting pitcher, and he does do the outfielding. So outfield is really probably his best pathway to the major leagues, but he's intrigued by the idea of pitching out of the bullpen maybe once or twice a week.
Gausman with a 1-2. In the dirt, blocked by Heineman, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
What's the actual stuff like when he's on the mound?
So the stuff is up to 92 with the fastball from the left side. So, I mean, that's something. The results have not been very good so far. He's pitched 3 times at Class A. The ERA is high, but it's a really small sample. He's just finding his footing, and he didn't pitch last summer. So there's upside here that the Jays want to explore.
2-2. Hit off the fist, a slow roller up the middle, backhanded by the second baseman Clement. He'll throw to first as Ramirez advances to third, and now there's 1 out in this inning. Still 1-0 Cleveland.
Yeah, so it's going to be really cool, and he has a lot to do as far as managing his time. Totally different sets of responsibilities. I don't have to tell you, Chris. I mean, you've done different versions of this as a catcher and pitcher in pro ball. I mean, that's extremely tough to do. So he's trying to manage that as far as his development, his time, where he puts his focus on any given day, and the Blue Jays are trying to work with him on that.
1 out, infield in, runner on third, and the pitch to George Valera outside, ball 1.
Well, not to put this out there, but I did have Tommy John 12 months after I started catching and pitching in the same ball game. So it is extremely difficult to do, not only mentally, physically, all those things, but on your actual arm itself when you're throwing and pitching.
1-0 pitch popped up. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. camped under it near first, makes the grab. Huge out as Ramirez has to stay at third. Now there are 2 down in the top of the 4th. We're talking with Ben Nicholson-Smith of Sportsnet.ca about his article about Austin Smith. No relation. You can check him out, or check the article out on Sportsnet.ca.
No relation.
I like how you threw that in there.
Well, someone did ask me that, and he's from San Diego, so yeah, quite a lot of distance there. His brother, though, is also a two-way player in college, at a D1 college at Washington University, so that's also very cool.
Pitch to David Fry, swung on a miss with 2 outs, and Jose Ramirez on third. 1-0 Cleveland. Yeah, I did see Smith won the John Olerud Award, which those who don't know, that's an NCAA collegiate award for the best two-way player in the country. It's funny because Blue Jay fans would never think of Olerud as a pitcher, as the 0-1 is hit foul to the right, 0-2, but he was an early version of this before it was really acceptable at the big league level.
You got to wonder about the alternate history where John Olerud tries it. I mean, he was very good. I don't think any Blue Jays fans are complaining about what they got from John Olerud, but, I mean, he was a very talented pitcher by all accounts.
0-2 count, 2 outs, and the pitch to Fry is waved at and missed. Strike 3, a scoreless inning for Gausman after the leadoff double. Ben, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
You can check out Ben's story on Sportsnet.ca. We're at the middle of the 4th, and it's still 1-0 Cleveland. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at Sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The road to October is underway, and you can celebrate strikeouts, wins, or walk-offs, and everything in between this season with a Miller Lite. When the moment calls for it, why not gather around your home base with a great-tasting Pilsner? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 ml can serving. Miller Lite, official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada. It's Miller time. Must be legal drinking age. Celebrate responsibly.
For the last 30 years, Capital One has been there for over 4 million Canadians. 30 years of giving credit and helping people reach the milestones that matter. Because we know when you're given the chance, you can do something great. Whether it's that lease on a new car, a place with more space, or just the feeling that comes with making your daughter's birthday the best one yet. With Capital One, this is just the start. Learn more at CapitalOne.ca.
At Mucho Burrito, we cook. Other spots cut corners and bags. If the chicken's prepackaged, it doesn't go in. If the cheese has fine print, it doesn't melt here. Salsa from a tub, not ours. At Mucho, whole chicken breast hits the grill every day. Cheese is 100% real, full stop. Vegetables get roasted in casa. Listen, if your order with them starts with scissors, start asking questions. Mucho Burrito made with love, not shortcuts.
Love Mucho!
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike three. He gets Verdugo for his 7th strikeout.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center, bottom of the 4th inning. Kevin Gausman just did a great job to strand Jose Ramirez on third, keeping it 1-0 Cleveland. And now the pitch to Cosmo Okamoto is high and outside, ball 1. Thanks again to Ben Nicholson-Smith for joining us. You can check out his story on two-way Blue Jays prospect Austin Smith on Sportsnet.ca. Okamoto Jimenez Varsho to hit for the Blue Jays this inning. The 1-0 is waved at and missed, 1-1. Okamoto getting the bump back up to the cleanup spot today. His last 6 games, .333, a double, and 2 home runs. 1-1 pitch. And he launches center field and deep. Martinez sprints back to the fence, and that ball is way out of here. Okamoto's renting space in the WestJet flight deck, the second game in a row that he sends one to the standing room only area in center, and it's 1-1 after his 5th home run of the season.
Well, he's very quickly turning into a reliable big league hitter. Struggled a little bit with the fastball early on, but he didn't struggle with that fastball down and away, and he uses the big part of the field just like he did last night and hammers that thing into the WestJet flight deck.
425 feet now. The pitch to Eloy Jimenez, high, ball 1.
That's an impressive swing right there, Ben.
Yeah, not a ton of guys are going straight away center field, 425 feet. 1-0. Outside 2-0.
Let alone 2 days in a row.
Yeah, John Schneider called yesterday's a big boy home run. I mean, that's back-to-back big boy home runs for Okamoto, who's leading the team with 5. 2-0 pitch. Jimenez swings and hits it back foul. An elevated changeup from Cantillo, but he gets away with it. 2-1. One of the handful of guys that have seemed to kick it into gear over the last week or two, Okamoto. 2-1 pitch. Jimenez grounds it left side, shuffling left. Jose Ramirez on it, overhand toss to first in time, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th of now a 1-1 game.
And not only offensively, he's playing a little bit better defensively over at third base as well. We saw him cut off a ball in the hole earlier on in the ball game. And how about that swing? He actually watched the baseball, took 3 or 4 slow steps. He's turning into a big leaguer.
1 out and the base is empty. 1-1 score, bottom of the 4th. The pitch to Andres Jimenez. Or pardon me, Dalton Varsho, fellow left-handed hitter, hits it foul 0-1. Yeah, he's learning the ways a little bit. Watch and wait. Can flaunt it a little bit in the major leagues. Cantillo will ask for a new baseball. We can welcome you to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Don't strike out on your next home improvement project. The team at your local Timber Mart has a wide variety of building supplies and leading brands you need. Clear the fence for a big win on every project. Batter up Timber Mart, Canada's building center. 0-1 pitch. Varsho waves and misses 0-2. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host. Nick Blackmore, producer. Andrew Adams and Tom Young, our technical directors. Varsho asks for time and a no-ball, 2-strike count.
There's not a lot of flipping the bat, slow walks to first base in Japan.
0-2. Hit back foul.
So, like you said, he's getting used to the big leagues. He's learning the ways. I feel like you're just not supposed to show up the other team in Japan. And obviously early on, if he hit a deep fly ball or a home run, he would just put his head down and run to first base, but not that swing there.
0-2. Varsho grounds it foul again.
And it's not showing the other team up. It's just having fun.
I know. I think, I don't mean this in a bad way. It feels like in style and in some of that stuff, it's just a little more of a traditional or more old-fashioned style in Japan. 0-2 again. Varsho fouls it off again. He's fouled off 3 straight 0-2 pitches. If like the Dominican or Venezuelan Winter League is on one end of the spectrum and Major League Baseball's in the middle, Japan might be on the opposite end of that spectrum. But to each their own, different styles to play the game, different ways to do it. 6th pitch to Varsho, and it's fouled off again. Swinging a lot. He swung at all 6 pitches in this at-bat, fouled off 5 of them, swung and missed once, and it's still 0-2. Oh, 2 once more, and this one is grounded foul again. It's pretty rare you have a 7-pitch battle without a single ball. There have been pitches out of the zone, but Dalton Varsho aggressively working this count.
I thought you had the percentage of just how rare it is. I thought you were going to pull that up. That would have blown my mind.
That would be cool. Another Cantillo 0-2. Fouled off the glove of Naylor and into the backstop. Varsho, by the skin of his teeth, stays alive.
All right, so 8 pitches now in the at-bat. He swung at all 8 pitches. We need to pull that up and find just how rare that is. I don't even know where to look.
Yeah, it's a narrow criteria. Another 0-2 and another foul ball.
He's just breaking records right now.
And pardon me, I got one ahead. That was the 8th pitch.
Oh, sorry, that was the
I got ahead there.
You got too excited.
That was arguably the mistake, though. After seeing 7 pitches, that was a 4-seamer right down the middle. Varsho was just underneath it. Still an 0-2 count. Cantillo rocks and fires. And Varsho serves one left side in the air, caught on the run by Ramirez. A low pop-up, and Jose Ramirez raises his fists in the air as Varsho finally goes down. And there are 2 outs. I understand the celebration from Ramirez. That was like an Ali Frazier level battle up there. Just trading blows, Cantillo and Varsho, until eventually he put him away. 2 out, space is empty. This game tied at 1 after the Okamoto homer this inning. And now the pitch to Davis Schneider. Called strike. There has been some changes for Okamoto that's maybe helped him unlock a little bit more. One of them is a routine change. You'll see Davis Schneider, Ernie Clement, Miles Straw, and a couple of other guys changing day to day go out for early batting practice every day. And Okamoto has joined that early BP group as a regular now. 0-1. Is hit sharply to third, picked on a bounce by Ramirez. Backing up, he throws to first base in time to get Davis Schneider and end the inning. Okamoto's solo home run ties us up at 1. We go to the 5th. 1-1 score. Blue Jays and Guardians. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/Let'sBegin for 10% off.
Fifth inning action is brought to you by Miller Lite. You can celebrate a strike, hit, or catch, strike out, hit, or catch with a great taste and 90 calories per 355 milliliter can serving. Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada, must be drinking age. Celebrate responsibly. Kevin Gausman to Juan Brito, called strike. We have started over at a 1-1 score. Top of the fifth, Cosmo Okamoto just tied it up with his fifth home run of the season in the fourth inning. Kevin Gausman's been near spotless so far. 1 run allowed, although Brito, the hitter right now, contributed to it. He'll take a strike again. It's 0-2. Brito had the leadoff double in the third inning, came around to score on a Brian Rocchio RBI groundout. Gausman quickly ahead of him, 0-2. The righty offers, and the pitch is hit sharply on the ground to first. Backhanded Guerrero, underhand flip to the cover, and Gausman for the out, and there's one down. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Let's go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Told you earlier that the Red Sox beat the Orioles today 17-1. Rockies Mets postponed today, so that game kind of already done. They will not play today. They're just underway in the top of the first in St. Petersburg. Twins and Rays facing off. Those are the two teams the Blue Jays will take on their upcoming road trip next week. Lucas sent one out, Gausman sent one out, and the pitch home to Bo Naylor, outside ball one. Out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. One-0 pitch, low 2-0. Naylor, the 29th overall pick in 2018 by Cleveland, came out of St. Joan of Arc High School in Mississauga. 2-0 pitch. High and outside, ball 3. Don't want to lose Naylor right now if you're Gausman. Naylor slow out of the blocks this year, batting 136, 8 for 59. 3-0. And he swings and hits it high in the air out to left field. Davis Schneider tiptoeing his way toward the line. Makes a two-handed catch, and there are 2 outs.
Well, that tells you right there that Stephen Vogt gives the green light to pretty much everybody in a 3-0 count. Like you just said, Bo Naylor's hitting 136. If I'm the manager, I'm probably giving him the take sign right there, 3-0, trying to get him to first base. Although Bo Naylor does have some juice, so if he gets a fastball over the heart of the plate, he can barrel one up.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power. He's retired, though. 2 outs, bases empty. Brian Rocchio up in the pitch. High ball 1. Checking in on Gausman's pitch count. He just delivered his 67th offering of the game. So he's doing pretty well right now with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Can get extended into this game. 1-0, and Rocchio hits it on the ground left side. Backhanded on the run. Jimenez, no, it's off his glove and down on the dirt. Don't think he had a play anyway. He was playing up the middle and had to run back toward third base. I would imagine that's an infield hit for Brian Rocchio.
Yeah, I think you're right. Even if Andres Jimenez comes up with that ball cleanly, Rocchio's got a little bit of speed. He's left-handed hitter. He's getting to first base, I think, before Andres Jimenez is throwing that ball to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but it would have been fun to watch. I don't know what kind of attempt he would have come up with.
Rocchio now takes his lead, and the leadoff hitter, Angel Martinez, back up. He swings and hits it foul, 0-1. Martinez 1 for 2 today. He's driven in 14 runs in his last 15 games. And finds himself at the top of the order after Stephen Kwan was a late scratch for Cleveland. 0-1. Down and in. Heineman pops up, checks the runner on first, Rocchio. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Kwan scratched today due to a stiff neck. He was originally in the lineup, did not play yesterday until subbing in the 9th inning as well. Step off throw to first, and the call is safe, but Guerrero points right back to the Blue Jay dugout. Rocchio went the wrong way before diving back to first. And the Blue Jays at least are going to think about this one as John Schneider turns back toward the phone. And they're going to ask for a challenge. And clearly the fans' eyes were on John Schneider. As soon as he made that headset earmuff kind of signal, you could hear fans start to cheer.
I think they got him at first base. Ramon DeJesus, the first base umpire, didn't really have a good view of it.
At first base.
Definitely looks like they got him on the replay, but on the field is safe.
Ramon DeJesus was standing behind the first base bag, and that tag of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the left arm hits the ribs of Rocchio at first base. So, I mean, tough to see that play there, and we're seeing on the replay now. I'm pretty sure they got him at first base.
I would be very surprised to see this not overturned. And Angel Martinez is starting to back away further from the plate, the hitter right now. Close to the on-deck circle. Blue Jays are staying on the field, so they haven't seen anything yet, but the view we got, it does look like he's out, but important the call on the field is safe. They got to be 100% sure.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Toronto will retain this out.
So Kevin Gausman picks off Brian Rocchio and sends us to the bottom of the fifth in still a tie game 1-1. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing: smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/letsbegin for 10% off.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Every winning team starts at home, and every great build starts with local support. Timbermart stores are family-owned and operated, stepping up to help their communities knock projects out of the park. Timbermart, locally owned, proudly Canadian. 1-1 score, Blue Jays and Guardians. Joey Cantillo to Andres Jimenez. Curveball for a strike. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host. Nick Blackmore, our producer. Andrew Adams and Tom Young, our technical directors. Jimenez faces an 0-1. Swings and misses on a curve in the dirt, 0-2. Last 11 games for Andres Jimenez entering today. He's hitting in the 340s with 5 doubles and a home run. Contributed in a big way yesterday with 3 hits, including a 2-run double in the 6th. That made it at the time an 8-6 game, and that would be the final score when the Guardians won the opener. 0-2. Fouls away a third straight curve. Slight knee bend for the left-handed hitter. 0-2 pitch. Just outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Missed with a four-seamer at 93.
That thing was dotted. A great take from Jimenez.
So it might have been a hair low, but either way, it's all over that shadow of the corner. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back to the off speed. Went to a changeup to punch out Jimenez. Cantillo's third K of the game, and there's one out.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier he only throws that about 10% of the time to left-handed hitters, but that's a good one. Faded inside and just below that swing of Andres Jimenez. A really nice pitch there.
With one out, here comes Tyler Heineman. He reached on an infield hit in the third. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Right back to the change goes Cantillo. Heineman takes a breath, looking at his bat, taps the plate twice, and brings the bat up above his right shoulder. 0-1. Squares to bunt, bunts it foul, third base side. Ramirez was playing deep. He tried to sneak one in on them, but that changeup went off the end of the bat and landed behind him. It's 0-2. Ramirez still playing deep at third, and a 2-strike count. Heineman very unlikely to try and bunt again. Cantillo's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Back to the changeup. Gets Heineman down to a knee as he punches him out. Back-to-back Ks. 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth.
That thing is absolutely filthy, whether it's to a lefty, whether it's to a righty. 81 miles an hour with that changeup. The fastball is sitting about 92 to 94. A huge difference in velocity, arm speed, movement, everything.
Two outs, bases empty. Miles Straw up, squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Straw looked back surprised when he heard that strike signal made by the home plate ump Quinn Walcott, but that curve did appear to clip the bottom of the zone. Straw 0 for 2 in this game, a flyout and a fielder's choice. He did steal a base in the third. Corners playing in. The 0-1. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Straw hits in a closed-off stance. His lead left foot a little bit closer to home plate than his back right foot. 1-1. Down and in, 2 balls and a strike. A former Cleveland Guardian himself, Miles Straw. Won a Gold Glove there. The 2-1 is down and away, 3-1. Straw, one of 3 former Guardians in the Blue Jays lineup today. Ernie Clement, who's on deck, and then Andres Jimenez, the Blue Jays shortstop. 3-1. Straw lifts the ball very high in the air, down the left field line, moving toward foul territory. George Valera on the side warning track. It's off his glove and down. A base hit. Straw to second, and he'll stop there. He was thinking about third. That ball did hang up a while, but that just went off Valera's glove. Not sure exactly what got in the way of him making the catch. He got to the baseball, and Miles Straw will take it. He's on with 2 outs.
Well, Valera was struggling a little bit, had to run a long way. He was shaded towards that gap out in left center, playing really deep, and it's almost like he overran that baseball. He had to deal with that tall wall out in left field and in foul territory. He was looking at the wall, looking back at the ball, trying to find the ball. That was just a perfect storm of messiness down there in left field.
Puts a runner in scoring position for Ernie Clement, and with that, the catcher Bo Naylor out to talk to Joey Cantillo. 1-1 game, runner on second and 2 outs as they discuss what they're going to do against Clement. Matt Festus starting to get loose in the bullpen in right field. Quick peek at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Twins visiting the Rays today. That pitching matchup pits Bailey Ober against Shane McClanahan as both of them look to steer their seasons in the right direction. Both have ERAs that begin with 4. Out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 1-1 here in Toronto. 2 outs, Straw on second, and the pitch to Clement. He's in the dirt, blocked by Naylor. Ball 1. On the video board here in Toronto, they've deemed that a hit for Straw. I would actually be surprised, to be honest, if it stayed that way. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good change at Ernie leaning forward. 1-1.
Valera's glove did make contact with that ball.
They've ruled it a hit online as well. So it's a double right now for Miles Straw. 1-1. Off the end of the bat, foul, and actually I think it broke a chunk off the bat. Clement starts running because the spin was a little weird there, but it never broke back fair. I do think Ernie will need a new bat. Piece of the barrel seemed to come off of the bat there. So as Ernie makes the walk back toward home plate, he'll get a new piece of wood when he gets there, and it's a 1-2 count.
I don't know if a piece of dirt hit Naylor in the face or a piece of the bat hit Naylor in the face, but he was pretty uncomfortable touching his face, took his mask off really quickly, turned away. Hopefully he's all right.
Guardians catcher slipping the mask back over his face now. He'll get into the crouch. As Ernie Clement's back in the box and Miles Straw still on second. 1-1 score. 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. Cantillo looking in at Clement. Left-hander brings his hands together. Looks to second. The kick and the 1-2. Poked off the end of the bat, foul to the backstop. A changeup that was well outside, but Ernie Clement can really cover pitches even when they're almost bouncing in the lefty batter's box.
How far off the plate was that? A foot?
At least. At least. Both down and away by a big margin. 1-2 again. Clement hits it on the ground to short right at Brian Rocchio. He'll grab it, throw over to first and end the inning. Miles Straw with a 2-out double is left on second base, and we go tied 1-1 to the sixth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart Build-A-Wish Day. For one day on Saturday, May 23rd, Timber Mart will donate $5 to Make-A-Wish Canada for every Timber Mart bucket sold. Plus, fill the bucket and get 15% off select regular priced items you can fit inside. Restrictions may apply. See in store for details. Timber Mart is proud to support Make-A-Wish, helping bring hope and joy to children facing critical illness. Together, we can help make wishes come true. Visit your local participating Timber Mart on May 23rd for Build-A-Wish Day. Timber Mart, locally owned, proudly Canadian.
Your favorite night of the week is back. Every Tuesday home game this season is Looney Dogs Night presented by Schneider's. Whether you want to turn two with a Looney Dog in both hands, cheer on a strike three heater with a Red Hot, or make noise for bases loaded with a ketchup-loaded Looney Dog, you can cheer on your Blue Jays and get $1 hot dogs from concessions all around the ballpark. Looney Dogs Night, presented by Schneider's. Every Tuesday home game. Where will you be?
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance and longevity with Metro Compactor Service. They've got you covered coast to coast with the largest service fleet in Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. metrocompactor.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Vladdy rocks the ball to left field. The Blue Jays have gone back to back to back.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The sixth inning is brought to you by Miller Lite. When the moment calls for it, why not celebrate a win with the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada? Must be legal drinking age. Celebrate responsibly. Kevin Gausman still on the hill, 70 pitches in. He starts his sixth inning in a 1-1 tie, and he'll face Angel Martinez. First pitch outside, ball one. Martinez was at the plate when the fifth ended, but Brian Rocchio was picked off at first. 1-0. Hit on the ground, foul, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Quite the pitcher's duel we have going on. Might have expected this, though.
I mean, Gausman entered with a 2.5 ERA. Cantillo with the low 3s. The 1-1 is hit high out to left field. Davis Schneider moving back. About 15 feet from the track. He'll stop and make a two-handed catch. And Martinez is retired, 1 out. Speaking of pitching, the Blue Jays have made some changes overall to their rotation. Specifically tomorrow, it was originally supposed to be Dylan Cease. The Blue Jays have flipped Cease and Corbin. Corbin will start tomorrow. Cease will get the opener of the Red Sox series on Monday. More on that in 1 second, but first Chase DeLauder up. Kevin Gausman offers, and the pitch is in there, strike one. Big part of that reasoning is Patrick Corbin threw around 70 pitches in his last start. Dylan Cease threw 110. With the off day, you can keep Corbin on regular rest for tomorrow and give Cease extra rest. 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on DeLauder. So that's the switch there. And then on Tuesday, Trey Savage will get the ball for the Blue Jays, make his season debut pitching against the Boston Red Sox. The 1-1 is lined over the shortstop Jimenez, down in center. A booming base hit for DeLauder, who rounds first and hangs on there with 1 out.
It'd be good to see him.
Very much so.
We saw him in spring training on the backfield. It's not the same.
Yeah, it'll be big for the Blue Jays to get Trey Savage back involved again in the rotation. John Schneider did also confirm for Wednesday that Max Scherzer will make the start for the finale against the Red Sox. Jose Ramirez up 1 on 1 out, and the pitch is called a strike 0-1. Shane Bieber, Jose Barrios, Jimmy Garcia, all throwing bullpens today, by the way. Barrios made a rehab start at Dunedin. Most recently, his next one will be in Buffalo. 0-1 fouled back by J. Ram, 0-2. Tuesday in Buffalo is when Jose Barrios will make his first AAA rehab start. Jimmy Garcia in the move today was put on the 60-day injured list. Transferred there from the 15, 0-2. In the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So he can't be in the big leagues until May 27th, somewhere around there?
I believe that's the right
26th.
date. It's not a massive change to his schedule. However, John Schneider said putting him there probably bumps him back about 1 pitching day on his schedule. 1-2. Ramirez lines it out to left. Schneider ranging back, stops, makes the grab chest high, and throws it back in to keep DeLauder at first. 2 outs.
Yeah, sometimes it's shocking to see, this person's been transferred to the 60-day, but a lot of the time it doesn't change anything. It's just a paper move, essentially.
Yeah, because it doesn't start your 60-day clock. You pick up however long you've already been on the injured list and then just have to stay there for 60 days. Plus, Garcia was not in rehab games yet. So
and then the Blue Jays get a roster spot as well.
They do. 2 outs, Rhys Hoskins up in the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Runner on first, DeLauder. 1-1 score, Blue Jays and Guardians in the 6th inning. Peyton Paulette, the Rule 5 righty for the Guardians, warming up in their pen as the 0-1 misses inside. A ball and a strike. I think that's just about it, though, on the pitching update. Not many other updates for the Blue Jays. Last week, Cody Ponce did rejoin the team on their road trip. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Ugly wave there by Hoskins on 95, elevated, and Gausman ahead 1-2. He's been effective, but only 2 strikeouts today for Kevin Gausman. With a runner on first and 2 down, his 1-2 to Rhys Hoskins. He struck him out. Elevates at 97 miles an hour to punch out Hoskins, strand DeLauder, and keep it tied 1-1, middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Choose to lean into it. Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
I wake up.
You gotta ask yourself, want to talk about the time you lived in the greatest city on earth, or still live in it? In the city where a matinee leads to 2 a.m. tacos, your New York era can last a lifetime. With 20 years of NYC know-how, Street Easy can help you become a forever New Yorker. Visit StreetEasy.com to buy or rent in NYC. Street Easy is an assumed name of Zillow Inc., which has licenses in all 50 states.
In baseball, great teams know one thing. Smart defense wins championships. The same is true when it comes to protecting yourself. That's why more Americans are starting with Byrna Less Lethal. Byrna Less Lethal personal protection products are designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes, giving you time to get to safety and call for help. Byrna is proudly American and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Play smarter defense. Visit Byrna.com today. That's B-Y-R-N-A, Byrna.com. Purchase and shipping restrictions vary by state and municipality. Go to Byrna.com to check availability at your location.
Financial stress affects the majority of Americans. It's one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, often causing anxiety and even sleep disruption, especially during tax season. Finding the right type of support can help. BetterHelp Online Therapy can provide the tools you need to navigate the emotional weight of financial stress and manage uncertainty with more confidence. See if therapy's for you. Visit BetterHelp.com/letsbegin.
Blue Jays 1, Guardians 1, middle game of this three-game set, and leading off the bottom of the sixth inning for the Blue Jays is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Still the lefty, Joey Cantillo, and the pitch, high and outside, ball one. Guardians got a right-hander up in their pen, decided not to go to him. They'll let the lefty Cantillo face Guerrero a third time. Vlad is 0 for 2. 1-0 pitch. Liner sent to right field, down for a base hit. It's a leadoff single for Guerrero, his first hit of the game. First hit in a couple of games for Vlad, who after having that great hit streak was 0 for his last 10.
I mean, he is right on that hanging breaking ball. Might have been off the plate outside, but he just smokes that thing the other way.
Now Kazuma Okamoto to the plate. Homered last time. The pitch. Breaking ball misses in, ball one. Okamoto launched one to the WestJet flight deck in the fourth inning to tie this game at 1, a 425-foot shot. 1-0. Breaking ball down and away.
Good take right there. Pretty comfortable standing in that batter's box.
All of a sudden, couple home runs, couple big swings. He's an above-average hitter by OPS, 725 on base plus slugging. 2-0 pitch. Low ball 3. Missed there with a changeup. Guerrero on first, tie game 1-1. Wonder if Okamoto gets the green light here, because you can't really walk him if you're Cantillo.
I think he's got the green light.
3-0 pitch. Guerrero takes off. The pitch is called a strike, throw to second, not in time. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. swiping his second bag of the year. And he'll rev the engine, flicking his wrists back to the dugout. It's a 3-1 count now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out.
Well, Vlad doesn't steal often, but we do know that he only goes when he has a really good read on a pitcher, and he got a great jump there.
Single to the outfield could give the Blue Jays the lead. Guerrero on second, nobody out, the 3-1. Okamoto fouls it back. He was waiting on that high changeup and got under it, spinning it back into the netting. It's 3-2. Boy, was that a pitch to potentially hit. That was upper middle of the zone at 79. Payoff pitch. Line and through the left side, a base hit left field. Guerrero had to wait to make sure it wasn't caught. He'll go to third. Okamoto's got 2 hits in the game, and the Blue Jays have cornered Joey Cantillo with nobody out.
Little bit of a hanging breaking ball, maybe a little bit on the inner third, but Okamoto not trying to do too much, just trying to move the runner over to third base, and he gets that ball through the left side. Good base running from Vlad over there at second base, making sure that that ball's through before going to third base.
Guardians will make a change with Cantillo allowing a pair of hits to begin the inning. First and third, nobody out in a 1-1 game. It's time for a pitching change, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Blue Jays trying to break through in the sixth. Before they do that, we go back to today's host. Here's Joe Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Stanley Cup playoffs. First round action continuing tonight, 3 games on the schedule. And we actually have some elimination games to get to today in 2 of the 3 series. First, Canes and Sens. That's happening right now. Carolina with a 3-0 series lead entering play, looking to sweep away the Ottawa Senators in the first round. The Canes entered play today without Nikolai Ehlers for Game 4. He had a lower body injury. Right now, though, 0-0 midway through the second period. Very scrappy game. You can watch that one on Sportsnet. Stars Wild goes later on. Dallas leads the series 2-1. Puck drop around 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, so in about 40 minutes or so. And then later on tonight, we'll get Penguins Flyers. Phillies leading that series 3-0. 19-year-old Porter Martone looking very good through 3 games. Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin on the other side trying to avoid getting swept in the first round. Puck drop of that one goes 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Over in the first round of the NBA playoffs, 4 games on today, and we have a final already. Pistons Magic in the books. The Magic with a 113-105 win in Game 3. They had a 17-point lead, blew the lead completely, then rallied for the win. They take a 2-1 series lead on the number 1 seeded Pistons. Paolo Banchero and Desmond Bane each with 25 points. On Thursday night, we had Game 3 between the Raptors and Cavaliers, and what a game it was for the Raptors. We get back into the series at home. A 126-104 win for Toronto. Still 2-1 in favor of the Cavaliers. Raptors will play Game 4 tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m., so we'll have plenty of updates for you during the game tomorrow. After the game, you can find Raptors post-game coverage with Amit Maan and Daniele Franceschi on the Raptors Show podcast feed. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to the action here at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. 1-1 score. First and third for the Blue Jays. No outs, bottom of the 6th. Matt Festa in and his pitch to Jesus Sanchez, a pinch hitter. He's called a strike, and Sanchez will challenge the first pitch he sees today. This ABS challenge is brought to you by xcopper.com. Pitch called a strike, and it was at the bottom of the zone. So the Blue Jays down to 1 challenge remaining. Festa making his 11th appearance of the year, a 5.84 ERA. He does have 1 save in 12 1/3 innings pitched. Sweeper, four-seamer, sinker, and cutter for the righty who sits in the low 90s. 0-1 pitch at the knees again, called strike 0-2. Blue Jays have never led in this game. This is their best chance to do so. Guerrero on third, Okamoto on first, and nobody out in a 1-1 game, bottom of the 6th. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jesus Sanchez down on 3 pitches, and there's 1 out.
That is a big first out for Festa for the Guardians. Now you can potentially think about a double play here with Dalton Varsho coming to the plate. What a pitch from him. My goodness.
Joey Cantillo at the top step of the end of the Guardians dugout, watching on. Both runners are owed to him, the Guardians starter. Here's Dalton Varsho. Guerrero leads off third, Okamoto off first, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, or maybe a foul back, actually. It's foul tip. It's 0-1. At a minimum, you're just trying to get something in the air here. Guerrero's got decent enough speed that if you get it deep enough, he'll score. 0-1. Foul tip again, and it's 0-2.
Got to cut down on that swing now. You've had a couple of chances to get that ball out to the outfield, but right now you're just trying to make contact. Can't strike out again here and get 2 outs in this inning.
First and third, 1 down. Infield, part of the way in, 0-2. Down and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Festa, a 33-year-old in his 7th season. Ball behind his back, looking in at the hitter into his catcher Naylor, and now he sets at his stomach. His 1-2. Varsho chops the ball towards second, and it's through! Past the glove of Brito into right. Guerrero scores. Trying to go first to third, Okamoto. He'll slide in. Thought about going home for a moment with the throw-off line, but he'll remain on third base. That should be an error by Brito, who charged it. And either thinking about home or turning too quickly, just let that ball go right through him. The Blue Jays benefit, take a 2-1 lead in the 6th.
I think that was an all-or-nothing play from Brito, whether he was going to turn and get the out at second, potentially getting a double play, or coming home. He was trying to be too quick, and it looked like he took his head off the ball, brought the glove up a little bit too quickly, and that ball went right underneath. And the Blue Jays score the second run of the ball game.
Well, they will credit a hit for now. 2-1 Blue Jays, and the pitch to Davis Schneider stiffens him up as it misses inside, ball 1. Dalton Varsho will get an RBI on that one, his 8th of the year. Still first and third, 1 out. Step off throw to first. Varsho dives back in. Jays lead for the first time in this series in the 6th inning of Game 2. The pitch, there goes Varsho. Pitch is called a strike, throw to second, not in time. Varsho with a foot-first slide into the bag. And he's got his second stolen base of the year. It's now 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Got a pretty good jump right there on Festa. I think the Cleveland Guardians are thinking about taking a look at this.
It was a bang-bang play.
I don't think they will.
Foot got in there, and maybe if he held the tag on, they might have gotten him off the bag and out, but he never held the tag. Infield all the way in now for Cleveland. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. The 1-1. Schneider hits it back foul. Big rip there on a sweeper, 1 and 2.
It's good to see Dalton Varsho being aggressive, though, on the base paths. That's something that's gotten away from him ever since that hamstring injury last year. I feel like he's been a little bit tentative out there in terms of stealing bases.
Blue Jays have 3 stolen bases in the game. 1-2. Check swing, pitch up and in. Appeal to first, and he went around. Says Ramon de Jesus. Would love to see a second look at that, but Davis Schneider goes down for the 2nd out.
Yeah, and Schneider doesn't agree with that call either. A little bit of a look down there to first base for de Jesus, slowly walking back to that dugout. We're getting a look right now.
Yeah, he went. He went.
That was pretty obvious.
He tucked the bat to his body, so it didn't look like he went from up here, but he did go. It was the right call by de Jesus. So now with 2 down, the pitch to Andres Jimenez is high ball 1. Hard to fault Matt Festa, who's punched out 2 and got a ground ball. That's being called a hit right now, but his defense should have made a play on it. 1-0. Jimenez lifts it down the left field line. Long run, Valera slides near the corner. That's fair, and down for a base hit. Okamoto scores. Varsho scores right behind him. Jimenez into second with a 2-run double, and it's 4-1 Blue Jays.
Valera's having a tough time down in that corner. Again, he's looking at the wall, looking at the ball. Unfortunately for the Guardians, he couldn't come up with it, but how about Andres Jimenez? Another gigantic hit here going the other way, squeezing that ball just inside that line. It actually split that foul line. Half of the ball hit the foul line, half of the ball landed in foul territory. Just barely fair down that left field line.
Yeah, and Valera's defense there, I don't know how much he could have done. That was as close to being foul as possible, as now Heineman takes high and outside ball 1. 3-run 6th for the Blue Jays to take a 4-1 lead. Runner on second, 2 down, the 1-0 to Heineman. Called a strike. You do wonder for the Guardians if Juan Brito picks that ball with 1st and 3rd and 1 out at second. What happens? Does he get an out at home? Does he turn an inning-ending double plays? It's still 1-1. Instead, it's 4-1 Blue Jays. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Well, the interesting thing about that play is I'm not sure if Vlad was actually off on contact. I wasn't looking at Vlad. I was looking at the play at second base. So it's almost like he didn't even have to hurry up and make that play and potentially throw it home.
I'll take a look. Let you know in a sec. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Heineman saying he fouled that off, but home plate umpire Quinn Walcott disagrees. Tag applied by the catcher Naylor, and that will do it for the inning. Blue Jays do end up with 3 in the frame, and they'll take a 4-1 lead to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
XXL. Yeah, we doing it big, yeah, we doing it XXL. Yeah, we doing it big, yeah, we doing it whoa. I make a play when I step on the plate. Hit a home run, you gon' see it in space. We getting cheese like a pizza. We from the north, that's pride, that's ether. We getting bigger and tall. We step in your house and deliver it far. We big as the sea and we big as the falls. We big as the moment when we win it all.
Get a double XL huge 3-topping pizza for $19.99. Only at Pizza Pizza.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Food Network is now in free preview.
The destination for the best eats on TV.
With hot new shows featuring your favorite Food Network stars. From new episodes of Flavortown Food Fight with Guy Fieri and Beat Bobby Flay.
The best of the best world-class chefs.
Plus all new originals. Andy's East Coast Kitchen Crawl with Andy Hay.
Woo, baby.
And Bake Master Battle Spring Edition with April Julian, Dwight Smith, and Dina Pugliese.
Enough talking. Time to taste.
Food Network. Nothing tastes better. Now in free preview for a limited time. Check your TV guide.
Hey, this is Kevin Gosman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
A 3-run sixth by the Blue Jays, and as we begin the seventh in Toronto, Toronto leads 4-1. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Kevin Gosman pitches into the seventh. On 84 pitches, he'll face the left fielder, batting from the left side, George Valera. Right on left he deals, and the pitch is called to strike. Gosman ahead of Valera 0-1. Seventh inning brought to you by Capital One. Capital One giving credit to over 4 million Canadians and counting. 0-1 pitch. Chopped toward first, hugging the line. Vladdy fields it on the run, spins, throws to the covering pitcher, Kevin Gosman. Tougher play than it might have looked for the first out of the inning. Guerrero had to go right down the line to forehand it, and then threw sidearm to Gosman, who caught it and found the bat.
He makes those plays look easy, doesn't he?
Vlad or Goss?
I think both of them do. It's a tough catch, a tough throw, tough play all the way around.
Big first out of the inning. David Fry now up for Cleveland. Right fielder today batting right. Gosman rocks in the pitch. Is hit high in the air, left field and deep. Schneider back in the shadow of the wall, looking up at the fence. It's out of here into the Blue Jay bullpen. First of the season for David Fry, and the Guardians get one back. It's 4-2 for the Blue Jays, top of the seventh.
How big is that double down the line now from Andres Jimenez? Blue Jays still have a 4-2 lead.
It was only 2-1 before Jimenez, with 2 outs, dunked one down the left field line to score a couple of runs. And now the bullpen starts to get active for the Blue Jays after that home run allowed by Gosman. In terms of innings pitched, Gosman's longest start of the year coming now through 6 1/3 already. His pitch to Juan Brito, outside ball 1.
After Gosman threw that slider, that hanging slider, you could see him look in at Tyler Heineman and pound the chest saying, "My bad." They wanted that thing down and away.
1-0 to Brito. Swing and a miss. He's got great stuff. That's the one pitch of the 3 that if you make a mistake, though, you do often get burned. The 1-1. Foul back 1-2.
I'm wondering if he was saying "my bad" because he shook the pitch. Maybe Tyler Heineman wanted to throw a fastball or a split finger, and Kevin Gosman wanted to throw a slider.
He rocks and deals a 1-2. That is powered into the gap, right center field. Varsho on the run toward the warning track. Gets there to make the catch. Smooth as can be out in center for the Gold Glover, Dalton Varsho. 2 outs.
Just gliding towards that line drive in the gap. A lot of center fielders probably diving to try to catch that baseball, but Dalton Varsho gets right underneath it for an easy grab.
And he will get the last out for Kevin Gosman. Home run, then a little bit of loud contact, and John Schneider's going to go into his bullpen with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. This is a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Kevin Gosman walks off for the final time today to a round of applause. Blue Jays up 4-2, 2 out, spaces empty, top of the 7th. We send it back over to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's continue checking on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. We'll go back to the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs and check back in on Canes Sens. Again, Carolina entering play with a 3-0 series lead. Last time we checked, it was 0-0. It's now 1-1 with mere seconds to go in the second period. Taylor Hall opening the scoring in the game for Carolina. Drake Batherson tipping a Tim Stutzla net shot just minutes later. So again, 1-1. You can watch that game on Sportsnet. Again, later on in about half an hour, we'll get puck drop on Stars Wild Game 3. Dallas leading that series 2-1, 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. And then 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, Pens Flyers goes. Philly leading that series 3-0. Over in football, the NFL draft continuing in Pittsburgh this weekend. We can check in on the Buffalo Bills. After trading out of the first round, the Bills took Clemson defensive end T.J. Parker with the 35th overall pick yesterday. With their next day 2 pick, they selected Ohio State cornerback Davison